I leave the office at 5 in the evening and feel a little tired after a full day of work. I turn off my computer, close the desk, put on my jacket, and take my bag. The air outside feels fresh and cool, the sky is slowly turning darker, but there is still some light from the sun. I walk slowly to relax after the long day. In my bag I have my bank card, my passport, and some documents, and I check again to make sure everything is inside because today I must go to the bank. The bank is close to my office, only about 10 minutes away on foot, so I walk along the busy street. People hurry home, cars stop at traffic lights, and shops glow with warm lights in their windows. I think about my plan because I have 3 important things to do: withdraw money, exchange currency, and open a new account. I repeat this list in my head so I do not forget. Soon I see the bank building with its big glass doors. There is an ATM near the entrance, and I remember one simple but important rule: always cover the keypad with my hand when I type my PIN. I also remind myself to put the cash quickly into my wallet and not keep a big sum in my hand. I push the door and walk inside. The bank is quiet and bright. The floor is clean tile, the walls are white, and the windows have blinds. I see a few people waiting, some sitting with papers and some looking at their phones. Near the entrance there is a small machine for tickets. I press the button, and a paper slip comes out with my number. On a big screen I can see which number is next. This system is easy and clear, because I don't need to stand in line, I can sit and wait calmly. I sit down on a free chair. A man near me looks at his documents, and a woman checks her messages. The sound of keyboards and printers fills the air, but the room still feels quiet. I feel a little nervous because I don't like waiting, but I know it is better to finish everything today. I look again at my ticket, hold it in my hand, and keep my eyes on the screen until my number appears. The screen shows my number, and I stand up and walk to the counter. The clerk greets me politely, and I say I want to withdraw some money. She points me to the ATM inside the bank. I take out my wallet and card. I stand in front of the machine, insert the card, and type my PIN carefully. I cover the keypad with my hand so no one can see my numbers. The screen shows different options. I press the button for withdraw cash. I choose the amount I need for the week. I check it twice before confirming. The machine makes a sound and then gives me the money. I take the bills quickly and count them. The number is correct. I fold the money and put it into my wallet. I do not keep it in my hand because that is not safe. I also take the receipt and put it into my bag. A good habit is to always check the receipt to make sure the machine worked correctly. I stand to the side for a moment and check again that my card is back in my wallet. Many people forget their card, but I never want to make that mistake. The ATM is useful, but I know an important fact: never ask a stranger for help with your card. If there is a problem, it is better to call the bank staff. I finish at the machine and take a deep breath. I feel calm because the first task is done. I now have the money I need. I look around the bank. The line at the counters is shorter, and I know the next thing I must do is exchange some currency. I walk to the waiting area again and take another ticket from the machine. I sit down with my bag on my lap and keep my hand on it. A woman with a baby walks past, and a man in a suit speaks quietly on his phone. The room is still quiet, and I watch the screen again. I think about my next step. I need euros for my next trip, and it is better to exchange money at the bank than on the street. The rate is safer, and I can trust the service. I hold my wallet and wait until my number appears again. The screen shows my number again, and I walk to the counter for currency exchange. The clerk smiles and asks what I need. I open my wallet and take out the dollars I prepared earlier. I put them on the counter and say I want euros. The clerk counts the bills carefully, then enters the amount into the computer. I watch the screen where the exchange rate appears. I know it is always important to check the rate before agreeing. The clerk tells me the total, and I nod. She gives me a receipt to sign, and I sign my name slowly. Then she opens a small drawer and takes out the euros. She counts them one by one in front of me. I follow with my eyes to make sure everything is correct. When she finishes, she pushes the money toward me in a small envelope. I thank her and put the envelope straight into my bag. I never keep foreign currency loose in my hands. A useful tip is to always keep different currencies in separate parts of the wallet or in envelopes so they do not mix. I check again that my passport and documents are safe. The clerk asks if I need coins too, but I say no, only bills. I smile, and she smiles back. I step aside to give space to the next customer. I sit down again for a moment to organize my things. I open my wallet, put the dollars in one pocket and the euros in the envelope. I close the zipper and place the wallet deep inside my bag. I feel calm because I finished the second task. Now I have both local cash and euros ready for my trip. I think about one more thing I need to do today. I must open a new account. This takes more time, but it is important. I look around and see a desk in the corner where consultants sit with clients. There are forms and pens on the table. I know I need my passport for this step. I hold my bag close and wait for the screen to show my number again. My number appears on the screen again, and I walk to the consultant's desk. A woman with a kind smile greets me and asks me to sit down. I place my bag on my lap and take out my passport. She asks what I need, and I explain that I want to open a new account. She nods and takes out some forms from a folder. She types on her computer and prints several papers. She tells me to fill in my name, address, and phone number. I take the pen and write slowly and clearly. I check each letter because mistakes can make problems later. She asks if I want a debit card, and I say yes. She explains that I will get a card today, and the PIN will come later by mail. I listen carefully and nod. It is important to always keep the PIN safe and never write it on the card. She also explains online banking. She says I can check my balance on the computer or phone. She gives me a paper with my login details. I fold it and put it into my bag. I sign the contract at the bottom of the page. She stamps the papers and gives me a folder with all my documents. She also gives me a new card in a small envelope. She says I should activate it at the ATM later. I smile and say thank you. She reminds me to always check my balance and never share my account number with strangers. This is an important rule to keep my money safe. I feel good because everything went smoothly. I put my passport back in my bag, close the zipper, and stand up. The consultant shakes my hand and wishes me a good evening. I leave her desk and walk back through the bank. My bag feels heavier now with cash, euros, and a new folder. I take a deep breath and feel relief because my last task is finished. I walk slowly toward the exit of the bank. The glass doors open, and I step outside. The air feels cool, and the evening light is soft. I stop for a moment on the sidewalk and look into my bag. Inside I have cash in my wallet, euros in an envelope, and a new folder with documents. My new card is still in its small cover. I feel proud because I finished everything I planned. A useful rule is to always check your bag before leaving the bank, so I do it once more. Passport, card, wallet, money, all safe. I close the zipper tightly and hold the bag close to my body. I do not show the cash to anyone. It is better to be careful outside. I see people walking quickly, and cars pass with their lights on. I walk to the bus stop not far from the bank. On the way I think about the tips I used today. Always protect the PIN, always count the money, always keep cash in a safe place, and always check the documents before leaving. These simple actions make me feel calm. At the stop I sit down and look at the sky. The sun is almost gone, and the city lights are starting to shine. I think about my day. I worked in the office, then I completed all my tasks at the bank. I feel tired but also happy. My bag now has everything I need for the next days. The bus arrives, and I step on. I hold the rail with one hand and keep my bag close with the other. I sit by the window and watch the city move past. The bank is now behind me, and I know all my work there is finished. My body feels relaxed, and my mind feels light. I breathe deeply and smile. The day is almost over, and I can finally go home with peace of mind. The bus moves slowly through the evening streets, and I sit quietly by the window. Lights from shops, cars, and cafes shine brightly outside. I think again about the money and documents in my bag. It is important not to fall asleep on the bus when carrying cash, so I keep my eyes open and my bag close. I remember one more good tip: never count money in public. It is better to wait until home. I feel calm because I followed all the rules today. After about 20 minutes the bus stops near my street. I press the button, stand up, and walk to the door. I step down carefully and look around. The air is cooler now, and the street is quiet. I walk slowly toward my home. The houses look warm with lights in the windows. I reach my door and take out my keys. I unlock the door, step inside, and turn on the light. I take off my shoes and place my bag on the table. I open the bag and check everything again. The wallet with cash is safe, the envelope with euros is in place, and the folder with my new account papers is neat. The card is still in its cover, ready for activation tomorrow. I feel happy that nothing is missing. I put the envelope into a small box, the folder into a drawer, and the wallet back into my bag for tomorrow. I wash my hands and drink a glass of water. My body feels tired, but my mind is calm. The day was long, but I managed everything step by step. Going to the bank was not always easy, but with planning and care it went smoothly. I sit on the sofa and stretch my legs. The room feels safe and quiet. I think about how important it is to stay careful with money and documents. I smile softly and feel ready to rest. The day is complete, and I can finally relax. I sit on the sofa and look around my quiet room. The bag is on the table, my shoes are by the door, and everything feels calm. I think again about the whole evening. After work, I went straight to the bank. I took a ticket, waited patiently, withdrew money from the ATM, exchanged dollars for euros, and opened a new account. Each step was simple because I stayed focused and careful. I remember the rules: cover the keypad, count the bills, never show money outside, and always keep documents safe. These rules are easy but very important. Now I feel proud that I followed them all. I take my new folder from the drawer and look at the papers again. The bank stamp is clear, and my name is written correctly. I hold my new card in my hand and think about the future. With this card I can save money, pay for things, and use online banking. It feels like a good step for my life. I put the card back in its cover and place it safely in the folder. Then I stand up and make myself a simple dinner. While I eat, I think about how many people go to the bank every day and how important it is to stay organized. A bank visit can feel stressful, but if I plan carefully, it becomes easy. After dinner I wash the dishes, dry my hands, and sit again on the sofa. I take a notebook and write a few notes about today. Bank visit finished. Cash withdrawn. Euros ready. New account open. Writing helps me remember what I did well. I feel calm and safe in my home. The long day is almost over, and I am ready for rest. I brush my teeth, put on my pajamas, and lie down in bed. My room is quiet, the lights are soft, and I feel peaceful. I close my eyes and think, today I worked, I planned, I finished all tasks, and I took care of my money. With this thought I smile and fall asleep.